Peggy here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here for another Monday This and That video. And if you're new, what these are weekly vlogs that I do where I cover all kinds of different topics. So let's get to the topics of today. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the Afghans I've been working on. So since I'm still giving my knee a break, it is getting better, it is healing, I can do so much more with it, but I'm still going to be waiting on running my treadle machine until I know it is 100% healed up. So what I've been doing is, because I like to always be creating something as I've been working on Afghans. So this one here is the one that I finished up for my granddaughter. And the interesting thing about this is that this is the very pattern that when I saw it well over 20 years, maybe 25 years ago or so, it was what got me into crocheting because I wanted to learn how to make this. So this is just a very downsized version of the full size, but I've made several of these in the past, but then I never got any photos of them. But a lot of my Afghans got put into auctions to help with good causes, and so that's why I was making a bunch of them years ago. Some of them as gifts, but some also to put in auctions. And then this one I just finished a few days ago, and this is a full-size one. It's actually called Tulip Rose, and it came from the same pattern book as this one. Now that pattern book, you can still find it. I'll link to it down below if you're interested. If you're into crocheting or interested, but it's by Leisure Arts, and it's called Floral Mile a Minute Afghan. So again, this is called Tulip Rose because if you turn it on its side, you can see these look like little tulips. And I've made this with, I think it's the first time I've used this darker lavender, but I believe I made one in a rose color, and another one I made with red and dark green leaves on it. But when you see it like full length, it kind of has more of a lattice look to it. So it is a fun one to put together. Now that one I made just because I'm in a crocheting mood, and when I get in a crocheting mood, I start doing stuff. And I don't even know for sure what I'm going to do with that one, but because I do like donating some of my handmade goods to the local Caring Place auction that happens every February, then it's most likely going to go in that. But if I find someone to gift it to between now and then, since it's a ways out, the next one, I'll do that and then have another one ready, because I am going to be doing another one like this, but with more of a plum colored flowers and darker green leaves in it, because those ones are fun. So now let's move on to the garden stuff. What's going on? So we're only just kind of getting into this right now. It's still very cold out there, but I did get my tomatoes and peppers started, and here's a picture of what they look like as of the day I'm shooting this, which is a few days before this publishes. So I start my tomatoes and peppers in small pots, just in a cluster. So I saved my seeds from the year before. For the tomatoes, I used to slice them, and now what I do is I just take all the seeds out of a tomato, use the flesh of the tomato for whatever I'm making, like a sauce or something, and then spread the seeds out on a paper towel and let them dry there. I don't ferment them. I've done that before, but I find the paper towel method works excellent, and it's simple. So I just spread them out, let them dry, fold it up and put it away, and making sure I label it so I know what seeds they are. And then when I'm ready to start them, I just rip off a chunk of that that's just loaded with seeds and stick it in one of my little 4-inch pots, cover it with soil, and then just let them start. And a lot of people probably wonder, well, why don't you put it in a whole bunch of teeny tiny little pots like a lot of people do? Well, because that takes up a lot more space, and I have found it to be completely unnecessary. And then when the weather warms up enough and my tomato plants get to where they're starting to outgrow the little small 4-inch pots, I then move them out to the greenhouse and then plant the whole cluster in another pot that's about this big and about this deep, and then let them grow until I'm ready to start putting them in the ground, because I try to let the chickens stay in that greenhouse roaming around on the ground, digging things up, pooping and all that for as long as I can. And then once I'm ready to put the tomatoes in the ground, I then will separate them out, and I find that it works really well. You just gently pull them apart, and I find the tomatoes don't mind that one bit. So I'm not going to waste a bunch of space in my house or even in my greenhouse having a whole bunch of little pots, because space is precious. And then I do something similar with the peppers, but the peppers will stay in pots. because they do best if I grow them up on a higher shelf in the greenhouse. So we're making more shelves as we make more covered areas for me to grow peppers in there as well, because they just, the higher up I can get them and closer to the sun, since, we don't get a lot of sun here, the better they'll do. The only difference is that then I'll spread them out. Once they get big enough, I start spreading them out amongst those pots, using then, once I transplant the tomatoes into the ground, I then use those pots to spread the pepper plants out in. And so those are the Chinese 5-color. I did get some herb seeds started. So far, the only ones that have popped up are the mullein. So we'll see. It's the healthiest looking mullein starts I've seen yet. So hopefully these ones make it. And these were from seeds that I got from somebody local who had brought her original plants over from the east side of the mountains of Washington State, where the climate is almost completely opposite as it is here. So that's why her mullein grew great over there, but now it's acclimated to our area and is doing good. So we'll see. Now, some other things I wanted to cover is, and this wasn't even in my notes, but my grapefruit peel vinegar's probably got at least another week to go, but I get this question a lot, is that especially when you're using whole fruit like apples or pears, or you're using peels from citrus with all the pith in there, it will definitely turn your vinegar cloudy. This is totally normal and is what is to be expected. So it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong, and don't worry about it. If it gets too thick in there, then when you go to strain it out, I usually strain these type of vinegars out through a fine cloth, whether it be a quality cheesecloth or just a piece of 100% cotton fabric, and then strain it out through that to get a lot of this pulp and stuff out of there. So just expect that. When you're making vinegar out of apple peels, pear peels, and those kind of things, it doesn't get as much pulp in it. But if your vinegar is slimy, then there's something wrong, and I would throw it out. And now let's talk real quickly about the collaborations coming up. So I really want to close this medicinal collaboration out hopefully at the end of this week. I may extend it one more week if I don't get enough pictures in, but please send me any photos of any homemade medicinal products you have made, especially anything made from following my videos. So that could be the natural vapor rub, the muscle rub, it could even be the hair growth oil, it could be any of the medicinal extracts or tinctures that I've shown you how to make, for pain, for muscle relaxer and sleep, or the elderberry spice syrup that I make. Even if you're making colloidal silver based off of our videos, or the spicy honey infused garlic, or however you want to make your honey infused garlic. And anything related to medicinal type recipes to help either just your general health or to help heal from something. So please take good quality photos, send those to raincountryhomestead@gmail.com. And then shortly after that, I'll be closing out, maybe a week or two after that, I'll be closing out the dehydrating collaboration. So make sure you're sending me your good quality photos of things that you've dehydrated for food storage. And if you're sending photos to both, send them separately. So they're titled dehydrating collaboration or medicinal collaboration, because they go in separate folders. And then when I'm ready to start putting the video together, I know which folder to grab it from. If you send them all in one email, one or the other could get lost. So there's that. So make sure you get those into me. Try to get them into me by the end of this week, which will be March 24th, 25th, around in there. Try to get them to me by then. Real quickly, I can't say a lot about this yet because I only just got it last night. But those of you who know me well know that I get emails every single day from people wanting to sponsor me, or and I don't do sponsorships. For some reason, that's just something I'd rather not do. But I like doing affiliates if it's something that I use and love. I was asked, and this is one of the ones I did decide to give a try to. So Nakano makes quality knives, and this is all Japanese made. And I've really been wanting to get some good quality knives. So I'm happy with my garage sale fine knives. Just really had my heart set on someday getting some good quality knives that I know are going to be sharp and long lasting. So like I said, I only just got this in last night, so I still got to work with it. I will be giving you an update on this one. It is beautiful. I love the olive wood handle on it. I did slice up some peppers this morning just to give it a try, and boy, it just like going through butter. It's just beautiful. But I mean, it's peppers. Peppers are pretty easy to cut, but I just grabbed something so I could try it. So anyway, I'll be working with it for the next week, and then give you an update on next Monday's video and let you know what I think. But I'll go ahead and put the affiliate link with the coupon code Rain Country, which gives you a discount on the knives. Now, like you would expect, when you're talking good quality knives, they are not cheap. But you know, if you want to just at least go check them out, I do recommend you wait until next week when I've had a chance to work with it more, to give you a better review on it. And then I'll also be doing a more thorough review later on down the road. So I just wanted to show that to you, and I'm really excited about giving it a try, and I hope it's everything that I've been hoping for. A few more things. I'm trying to go quickly because I had a lot of things I wanted to cover. I get asked the question quite a bit. Let's come back to the vinegar for a minute. Can you make balsamic vinegar, and have you made balsamic vinegar? Well, the answer is, well, sure you can. And have I? No. And I'll explain why. So if you want true balsamic vinegar, you've got to go to Italy, and there's two special kind of grapes that are used that are only grown in a certain part of Italy. And that is what's used in making balsamic vinegar. And so then you have to take those grapes, you got to stomp them down into a must. Once you've got it all juiced, you got to cook it down to about, I think, 50%. So it's very, very concentrated. Once you've got that done, you've got to put that must into big wooden barrels and then let it ferment and age for a very minimum of 12 years. So balsamic vinegar is actually labeled, if you're looking at true quality balsamic vinegar from Italy, it's labeled in 3 different colors. You have silver, gold, and I think the other one's bronze. I don't remember. But the one that's only been aged for 12 years is going to be the least expensive one. And then the highest quality, which I believe is the gold, and that's going to be aged for 25 to 30 years. So you'll see, this is why I've never made balsamic vinegar. Now, I do believe there's people that have made a vinegar that is similar to balsamic vinegar in flavor. So if anyone knows about that and they would like to share, please put that in comments down below, how that is done. That's something where you don't have to age it for 12 years, but you can at least get a similar flavor to your vinegar if that's what you're looking for. But yes, it is a very long process that's different than just throwing some grapefruit peels or apple peels or whatever into a jar with water and sugar and letting it ferment for 30 days. This is definitely a much longer process. And then one more really quick thing, I hope I can make this quick, I'm going to do a separate video on this, but a lot of you who are already signed up with Misfits Market like I am, and you've seen the changes, at least I know in our area, they've now upped the cost of shipping, which I understand shipping has gone up 2 or 3 times just in the past year. And they've also upped the amount that you have to order, that you're required to order. So it went from 35 to 55. And just so you know, you don't have to order every week. You can just skip your order. And one of the good things, though, they've added to make up the difference from having to do that, they have now put out the option of being able to get free shipping. You have to order at least $150 worth of stuff to get the free shipping, which can actually be pretty easy to do. But if you're liking to order fresh produce every week, that's a lot to order. So what I'm doing now, and I'm actually liking this better because I'm actually saving more money now, is I'm only ordering every 3 to 4 weeks. And doing one big order. And if it's ordering stuff like cabbage or to have on hand, now that I've been working with the dehydrated cabbage and I'm super happy with the way it's turning out no matter what I've used it in, then, I'll order 2 or 3 big cabbage heads at a time and just dehydrate them up. And I can do the same with with a lot of other produce. Have the produce I want to eat fresh and work through that, and then have extra that I can put up to get me through for months and months, or until I'm ready to do another order. So that way I can save the money on shipping. And anyway, that's what I'm doing to make up the difference there in the increase in cost of shipping. So now I'm not having to pay shipping at all, where I was having to pay it before. So just a little tip on that, but again, I'll break this down more in a separate video that will be coming out in a few weeks. So anyway, that's it for my this and that for the week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Any thoughts, concerns, ideas you'd like to share, please put them in comments down below. And thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.